I was just so lost. So lost. I felt completely stuck. And I just genuinely, I did not see a way out. I did not see a way out. Welcome back. My name's Katerina, and I welcome you to my channel where I help you walk through the shadows, walk through the underworld, and come out the other side. I'm your literal guide for a shadow rebirth. I use astrology, I use shadow work, I use feminine embodiment, and I kind of put those all together, and that is me. I sometimes call myself a priestess because I like the way it sounds, and I feel like that's kind of in my chart of what I should be. So I posted a video on the full moon in Scorpio where I kind of spoke about a core wound of mine and the fact that I actually recently just lived through it. And it kind of got me inspired to talk about some other things that just from the heart, I guess, from my soul. Um, I have a tendency to have everything put together, everything that I need to do. I record it, I set up my script, I write it, I set up bullet points of what I need to say. And that's really good for an informational kind of video. But when it's like speaking from your soul, there's no way that you can plan that. It just happens when you're speaking it. And I feel like I'm riding that wave a little bit. The last video that I recorded, that was straight from my soul. And I just liked the way I recorded that. I liked the way it felt. And I just wanted to try it again and see what comes out. I've never been one of those people that knows what they want to do. I have connections who knew from the age of 7, from the age of 13, 14. They knew what they wanted to be. And I didn't. I had no clue. I was riding this wave and trying a lot of things that didn't align. I was navigating illness and a relationship that was emotionally draining. And I felt so stuck. I never felt called to the 9 to 5 life. And I know probably a lot of people who are watching this are saying, yeah, neither did I, but here we are. But I just had no urge. And I always thought something was wrong with me because of that. You know, I am in a world where now it's gone a little bit better, but when I was younger, it was like the only job you could get was an office job. I wasn't surrounded by people who were living their dreams. I was surrounded by people who like do what you do. You get a job and you don't love that job, but it pays the bills and that's life. And I used to sit there and be like, but isn't there more to this? There must be more to this. And then COVID happened and everyone started speaking about like alignment and purpose because people ultimately were feeling lost in that time. They didn't know what was going to happen. People, including myself, lost their job. And we were just like, what do we do? What's next? What happens? I went on this trek through every video you could find, every podcast, every book about what you need to do with your life, what you should, finding your purpose, What sparks you? And I just didn't know. I didn't have that answer. I would sit there and be like, I don't feel joy. I don't feel joy. I'm sitting there doing the most basic thing where I should be so grateful and happy that, like, I've got a roof over my head and I've got beautiful family around me, but I just felt like this fog was all around me and I was just like watching people, but I didn't feel part of it. I didn't feel present at all. I was constantly trying to find an answer. I was so lost. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I was so lost. I felt like a failure. I would cry a lot because other people were just doing things, getting things done. And I was just sitting there like, I don't know what I want to do. And I was applying for so many jobs. I used to work in marketing. So, like, and before that, I was freelance and I used to work in marketing freelance as well as illustrations. And just none of it was sparking me at all. None of it was calling me like to the surface of like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do. I would pick up my iPad and try and illustrate stuff, and nothing was just coming out. And I was hoping that one day, I was just genuinely hoping that one day I'd have enough money to go traveling and I'd find my purpose. And it's so funny because, like, that never happened and I found my purpose. Like, I never did that traveling. I never went away to find that. And I know that I'm meant to do something like that, and it is in me, and I will do at some point in my life. But right at that moment, when I was so stuck and lost, the thing that got me through it was external validation. Like, I'm gonna be so real. I just distracted myself with people, with men, with social media. And I will never forget a moment where I had a bit of a following on Instagram, nothing crazy, but I worked with like Savage Fenty at one point, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. But still, there was no substance to it. I just felt like I was doing things because people expected that of me because I was doing it before. And I posted this photo, and this random man, I don't know who he was to this day, I don't know who he was, but he commented and said, I see a deep sadness in your eyes. I cried so much. If you can tell by this video and the last video, I cry a lot. But I cried so much because I was just like, oh wow, is it that obvious? Like, can someone see that I'm just totally lost? I deleted social media a bit after that. I deleted that Instagram handle that I had, and it had like 30,000 followers. So that was like a big step for me, but I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I stopped posting on YouTube, stopped posting on TikTok, and I just went absolute ghost. But the purpose of it was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep seeking external. I need to figure out what the hell I want to do with my life and what I'm working towards. I felt through that process of not being on social media, I did get distracted a bit, but I felt still so lost. And then one day I went to go see a homeopath, I did this event, a speed dating event locally, and it was like this really like nice kind of little bar, and I went in to check something out, and the girl who was working behind the bar was speaking to me. And then we just started speaking, and she said homeopathy. And I used to go to see a homeopathist when I was really ill in my 20s. And she was incredible. She was like a really, like, my mum used to take us when we were little, and she was just amazing. And she is amazing. And she has a wait list of like 2 years. Um, she's just genuinely incredible, right? And this woman started speaking to this girl, started speaking to me, and she's a bit younger than me. And we were just talking, whatever. And she went, "Oh, I'm training to be a homeopathic. I'm training in homeopathy at the moment." And I said, "Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I used to go, but I don't anymore." She was just always fully booked, and I could never find the time. And she just went, she just said the person that I went to see. And she went, "Oh, yeah, she started training. So I'm being trained by her." And that moment, the stars aligned. I was like, this is it. And she asked me, "Can I be a patient of hers in the trial in her course?" And I said, "Absolutely. Please, yes." In this first session with her, she said to me about reading my chart. And she was like, "Have you ever done it?" And I was like, "No, but I've always wanted to." And it's so wild that you've said that, because for the past 2 months, I've been watching this guy, and I've been thinking about paying for my chart being read. I'm not going to say the name of who I went for. Turns out it wasn't the way that I kind of read my chart now. Um, they just don't do Placidus system, and Placidus system for me is just a lot more evolved to the times now. It has a lot more depth to it, personally, in my view. That's just my view. Um, anyway, in that whole time that I was waiting for my chart to be read, it took about 3 months, and I learned to do my own. I picked up lots of books. I read lots of different books about Hellenistic and Vedic, and I watched all the YouTube videos. I did a little course. I did everything to kind of understand it. Just for myself, I have a tendency to fully dive deep into studying things, but never turning them into anything but that. Um, and then through that process, I started to find joy again. And I found my purpose, and it was not what I ever thought I would do. But now it makes total sense. I was always obsessed with the stars. I was always obsessed with mythology and all the shit that just basically was dark underneath, no one spoke about. I was always obsessed with it. I was always curious. I would learn about everything, even religion. I would just like try and learn my all, and it always intrigued me. Everything, just the depths of stuff intrigued me. So, of course, that makes sense that I would work in the depths of a person. Like, that would be my purpose, is to help people get to the depths of their soul so they can become their true, authentic, raw self. Of course, that makes sense. Like, that's what I was doing for myself, but I never thought that would be a thing. And here I am. um, I've just recently started YouTube, but I have had clients and I've helped them through their businesses. and I've helped people find their purpose, and I've helped people with their core wounds and their blocks. And I took all of that and created a course, and that is something that I genuinely believe, if you take anything away from me, if you just did that, I really, really believe that your life will never be the same from that. But regardless, I just felt light. I felt like I saw a light. And it honestly, in my eyes, it happened so quickly, for the fact that I spent 15 plus years having no idea what I want to do with my life, to finding it out in a year. Like, it is crazy to me. It is crazy that I do this. And every time I just want to I want to cry, and I want to scream, and I want to open a bottle of champagne, and I just want to be so happy. I want to like dive into the ocean, which would be so nice right now because it's really effing hot. But I just felt like I could stop searching, and I felt so free. And I think that feeling, I was like, oh, I want that for other people. I want this feeling for other people, because I know how horrible it is to be at the bottom and feel so lost. I am living proof of that. I had never felt so lost than I did at those moments in my life. I thought at some point I'd find out, and I did, but at that time I thought it would be earlier than it was. But your life doesn't have a timeline. Your life really doesn't have a timeline. It doesn't say what things should be done at what certain point. You just go through the process of your life and you'll find it. You know, I've had a woman who's in her 60s come to me. I've had a woman who's in her 50s come to me. It doesn't matter what age you are. When you find your purpose, that's it. It's like everything just lifts, and I don't worry about anything. Like, not in a way to sound that I'm entitled. It's more just, I used to worry about money so much. So much. I used to worry about my life so much. I used to think, is this the right thing that I'm doing? Is this it? But now it's like, I can't explain it in a way that doesn't make me sound wanky. But I don't worry about it. I have not thought one moment since I started this, is this the right thing? And there have been moments where money wasn't coming in at all. But I always thought, oh, it will come. I know it will come. Like, it's fine. I know it will. And it has, and it's crazy. And I just can't wait to see where this goes, where this evolves, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. If you were feeling lost or stuck, I just want you to know that you will get there, whether it's through astrology, whether it's through me, whether it's through someone else, whether it's a light bulb moment. You will get there. You will find that light again. I promise you. I know you're probably thinking the same thing that I would have thought, which was like, yeah, but how? Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the when. just worry about the why. Things will happen for you. If you choose your path of alignment, everything will work out for you. And this isn't delusional, like everything works out for me, but like if you choose your path of alignment, everything that happens for you is for you, for your future, for the path that you're walking. And you'll look back 10, a year, 20 years from now and be so in awe of all of it, because you would have realized all that shit that you went through was for this moment right now. And I am living proof of that. Why do I keep saying proof? If you would like to figure out more, then my YouTube is here with free content for you. If you would like to dive deeper, I have my course available. It's a moment for you to figure out clarity. What is the purpose of you being here? We all have a destiny. We all have a North Node, a Rahu. We all do. And most of the time it's kind of tied into your career path or your abundance path, but sometimes it's not. It's nothing to do with that. But a lot of people I've worked with, you know, their North Node is to, I don't know, say for instance, their North Node is to work with the collective and to build something that's outside of themselves that will last, stand the test of time. And their job is actually, you know, in that too. Their job is like working with charities or working with government things or working with fosters or whatever. Like it's all together. If you want a deeper understanding, what I would say is go and read your chart and see where the North Node in Pisces and South Node in Virgo are transiting at the moment. On AstroSeek, that's the orange around. So you look for the orange North Node and the orange South Node, and it will see what house it is in, and that will tell you what area of your life. That's highlighting what is needing to happen in the next year and a half. And that will help you a lot if you choose that path. And at the end of the day, there's free will. If you're not want to, then that is fine. It's will come back again in a few years or whenever. But if you want to change now, if you are seeking a more fulfilling life, or if you are seeking more alignment, taking more action towards that, things will get better. Things will get better. It just naturally will. You can't fight destiny. That sounded really wanky. Anyway, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Again, everything is linked below if you would like to work further with me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel like I just asked the universe to talk through me, so hopefully all of it made sense. Yeah. Thank you so much.